measure twice, cut once. So I'm going to double check this, and what you want to do is you want to make it about a ½ inch bigger than the actual opening, and then what you're going to do is you're going to squeegee it in, and you're going to cut it with a sharp razor blade. So that's what we're going to do now. All right, so what you want to do is you want to get a nice felt pen, you want to get a nice flat area, and you got to get a nice yardstick. This one's a nice steel one. And so what I'm doing right now is I'm marking it at about 9½ inches. And I'm going to take my straight edge, I'm going to set it down, I'm going to take that felt pen, I'm going to make a nice long line from those two, and I'm going to cut two of these. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go up double the space, and the space was about 15½, 15¾ so I'm going to go about 31 inches straight up, and so I'm going to mark it up, and I'm going to run it off that 9¾ or 9½ line, I forget which one it was, and just go ahead and mark that baby. And we also have to go and mark our spot where we're going to cut it. So there we're going to go up 15½, we're going to draw our little line there, and then we're going to go up and do it again and draw another line so that we've got our spot, and then we're going to take our other straight edge and we're going to draw that line. Double check it though, like I'm doing right now. I'm double checking it, making sure if it didn't look right. And then I'm going to take my scissors and just slice all the way up. Sometimes the scissors will just go ahead and slide and glide like that, and it makes it easier to cut, but it's kind of hard to get on there. So now let's go and do our 90-degree angle and cut. There's one panel done, and now we just got to do is pull this down a little bit and finish the cut. Just slide her up, and I'm going to go ahead and make sure it's the exact right amount there, and make sure that I can see that line. And then we're just going to go ahead. Oh, let me do it one more time. There we go, got it. And then what we're going to do is we're going to go and slide all the way to the edge, and then we're going to cut our other horizontal line. And now we got our two panels, and they are ready to go up. And that is all right. So you're just going to take some Scotch tape, and you're going to pull off about 2 inches. You're going to bend it over so you got a tab that's not sticky. And then what you got to do is you got to get it right on the very corner of your cut, and you're going to put it on both sides. I'm going to show you here. Let me pull it up. Oh, you can't see it because my damn hand's in the way. So I'm going to stick it right on the corner, and then I got to put another one right underneath it the exact same way, little tab, and then we're just going to stick it right underneath it. All right, so we got one on top and one at bottom. All right, so anyway, this is going to make it so much easier. You've got your little two tabs that you can grab. That way you won't screw up your tint. So you got to do it on two top corners. So you're going to put it on the edge, and then you're going to put it on the back, and that way you can pull the film off of it without touching the sticky side, which is super important. I'm going to show you in just a second. Here we go. All right, so anyway, now I'm just about ready to go, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to grab my little tab on both sides of that tape, and I'm going to pull it apart. And there's one side that's completely clear and see-through, and the other side is sticky, so you don't want to touch the sticky side. Sometimes it gets caught, like this one here is a little stuck, so I got to get up on the tab. You see I'm touching the tab and not the actual tint paper, because if you touch that tint paper, it's going to screw it up and you will not be able to put it on the window. So you're going to pull that almost all the way down, and then what you got to do is you got to get your spray bottle. See, I'm pulling it almost all the way down to the bottom, and I'm making sure it's nice and flat. I'm going to grab the spray bottle, and I'm going to squirt the hell out of it. I'm just going to get it wet, super wet. I'm squirting it. Going to give it back to her. She's going to squirt the window. So you got to get the window nice and wet. You got to have your tint paper nice and wet. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to grab the tint paper by the little Scotch tape handles, and I'm going to lift it up and I'm going to hand it to her. She's going to grab the two sides, making sure she doesn't touch the inside of that sticky part. I pull off the bottom, and now we're ready to put it on the window. All right, so now she's got it on the window. It's super wet, and she's trying to make sure that she's got it perfectly positioned. Then we're going to grab the little yellow squeegee, and we're going to squeegee all that water out. And you want to start in the middle and work your way to the sides. As you can see, that's what we're doing right here. Pushing it up and pushing it down. And you want to try to get all that tint paper nice and tight. And then once you get it all nice and squeezed out, what we're going to do is we're going to trim it. And so they give you a little blade, but that thing gets very dull after you do a couple of them. So we had another one and we're using it, and it's much sharper and it worked much better. And then you just cut off all the edges once you get that done. Here's another one we're doing. We're squeegeeing, as you can see, from the middle down. And there we go, just like that. Just push all that water out. It's going to drip down, so you're going to have a little bit of a mess. And then you're going to get your knife, of course, and you're going to trim off the excess on the corners and the side, being very careful not to cut it too deep. And there's your setup. I just put it on there. And there she's cutting off the edges, as you can see. And that's how you do it. And there you go. That's how you tint small little rectangular windows. And this was a pain in the ass. We had to get up on a ladder, about 12 feet in the air. Here's me bringing one up from the bottom. And as you can see, she's going to grab it. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to pull the bottom off, and she's going to go ahead and apply it. And that's how you do it. All right, and that is the finished job right there. It looks fantastic. If you like this video, please subscribe to my channel and check out my other awesome videos. Peace.